Yes, how can I help you? Okay. Any player problems in chat? Okay, so Rapi, EMEA, and Team Iceborne. Technically both Rapi. Okay. So did they already select the sides? Did they already select the sides, these cuties? So Mozilla is gonna unleash the talkening, is that correct? So I need to okay, you can see the screen, I guess. Okay, that one works. Okay, hello. Are you already unmuted for the stream? Now you are unmuted, you're free.
Winnable.
So Rapi Emea is on the red side. Wait. Yeah. And then Team Iceborne is on the left side. Blue side.
Okay. So I will already start the Gamba. Don't vote yet. Relax with the voting. Game hasn't started yet, draft hasn't started yet, so yeah, just wanting to make sure everything will be fine. So everything is set up. Today we will be seeing the series between Rapi, EMEA, and Team Iceborne. To my knowledge, I was informed that both teams are from the same guild, or at least close to the guild. And we even see former comp players, because apparently Sanjiren is standing in for Team Rapi EMEA, because they have player problems, and he used to be most of the time a stand-in for other pro players in teams. So he has comp experience compared to most other players.
He has won tournaments as well in Europe.
True.
Most notably with his Gragas top lane performance.
Oh no, not that one. I remember. Can I vote for Mozilla? Yes, but you need to super chat a humble amount, and then I established a contact between you and Mozilla. Definitely necessary. Is this a legit tournament? What do you define as legit? Team is already ready. We haven't even started the game or the draft, and it's already 56% for Rapi EMEA. You little impatient goblins.
Okay, I think I have everything set up now.
Okay.
Perfect. So I can start now. Perfect.
So that means we won't be seeing Kresniak play.
Feels bad, man. Will we see another targeted jungle action again? No more jungles will be allowed in this game.
I mean, jungle is a broken road. Can't overstate that enough.
but we have seen more Yumis than anything else for the entirety of the tournament. So they're not that confident in playing the jungle tank setup, permanently invading, rotating, and diving. The urge to click buttons. So if I just put my PayPal me link there and just attach a nice amount, you just can't resist the urge to click it. Is that correct? The Gragusi ban. Finally. He gets what he deserves.
Yeah, champ is pretty OP right now after the last set of buffs.
Permanent vacation. An Akali ban. Hello, hello, hello. To everyone joining this insane action. I have an idea. I should actually start locally recording this. And then maybe I can do a little piece. Oh, Fiora ban. I think we haven't... Did we see a Fiora in the tournament so far? Does anyone remember? Because I don't think we have.
No, it's been banned a couple of times, but it hasn't been picked yet, I'm pretty sure.
You leave my guy alone? Hackerim? No, Hackerim will not be left alone. This champion is an abomination. A spawn of hell. This champion needs to be banned. But look at the top lane.
First pick here.
Look at the top lane bans. Just Jack's gone, Fiora gone, Camille gone. Elise in first pick.
Even Akali, you could argue, when Sanji's playing. He loves Akali.
Fair enough. But maybe Sanji is not even playing top lane, but just randomly goes jungle, and then they send somebody else top.
Could be, yeah.
They target banned his Gragusi. Oren. The flex pick gamer. What I'm curious about is if teams will pick up a Yasuo the moment an Ornn is picked.
I don't think it's necessarily worth just to counter the Ornn, because Ornn can always just wait with his ult for Yasuo to not be in a position where he can wind wall or have his wind wall on CD.
Windwall has a cooldown? That's news to me. Not anymore. A Corki. I think we haven't seen this champion also in a very long time. People just not really wanting to pick it, even though like Varus was open as well.
Yeah, I think Varus is completely broken.
Yep. I'm really curious, like, look at all the top lane champions being banned. I think with this done, you could have even just locked in the Varus top lane. Because who's left to do anything to you? Who reaches you even? But there, yeah, they pick the Yasuo. Look at them.
I mean, I guess you could be scared of having Yasuo into you now if you pick Varus top. Maybe they're gonna whip out like an Irelia pick or...
An Irelia pick? Have you seen this champion ever? Ooh, I think there needs to be a Nautilus ban right now. Do you remember the pain of this constellation of champions?
Oh, I don't like the Vi here.
Very interesting to pick up the Vi.
Better if you wanted like a counter to Lee Sin and Yasuo.
I think it's so weird to just pick up the Vi when the enemy picks the Morgana. I just think it's weird.
Yeah, and you're not really forced to pick it because no one's gonna ban Vi, realistically.
Honestly, I just hope that Nautilus and Leona get removed. I don't want to give the Morgana team Nautilus or Leona. I have seen this so many times, and I got depressed within 1 second.
I would have liked to see something like Xin Zhao in jungle here, and then you can pick up Braum as well. Put Ornn top into, or Ornn mid into Yasuo or whatever. And then you just have like Giga comp.
The Giga comp. Do you know how Zeri's old zaps are treated with the Windwall of Yasuo?
I think they just go through. I don't think they're a projectile.
A fresh ban. Like, what other options do we have for the support role now, unless they want to play Morgana support, which I don't believe. Like, it's the Galio, it's Leona. What else do they go for?
I mean, it could be anything still. They could just go for an Enchanter. Any kind of knock-up support, really. Alistar.
Zeri has been banned away. Still think that the Corki might be going mid lane.
Yeah, it's probably mid lane. Honestly, not that bad of a matchup for Corki into Yasuo.
Yeah, his third ability just goes straight through the wind wall. Take that, bozo. As long as we don't see a black cleaver Corki.
Ooh. I don't like the blind Kai'Sa.
The Kai'Sa pickup.
What if they just whip out the Caitlyn Morgana? Like back in PC League. Good old times.
The amount of effort required to play with Caitlyn? Nah.
But I feel like it would be pretty good this game because you aren't really gankable by Vi. Okay, it's set support then most likely.
I would have rather seen a Leona, no?
I guess they want another knockup for Yasuo. I feel like that's kind of the issue with Yasuo. If you're not necessarily proficient enough on the champion, you need so many knockups to be useful.
Yeah, but I think that just having the Leona on the team... Oh, it's actually a set top lane.
It's set top. I mean, the matchup is good into Ornn. I just don't think you can do much into the other champions. Could also still be Ornn support.
I would have loved to see the Leona.
I mean, Braum is terrible here. I think Leona would be definitely better than Braum.
Just so much damage adding. An Echo! Like, if we see a table that's representing the meta, then Echo is like the toy that has fallen beneath the table and nobody wants to pick up.
I don't really know what they're gonna do with this Echo.
They're like, going for this tank build.
Yeah, I know, but like, how is he gonna lane into set regardless of if he builds tank?
He's gonna outplay him to the maximum.
Also, Echo doesn't have base damages in this game. You can't really just build tank items and then still kill people.
He's gonna prove you wrong somehow.
Well, we're gonna see how useful this Yasuo is gonna be. I'm very skeptical.
Maybe it's the Yasuo bot lane and the Morgana is mid lane.
I think that's worse, honestly.
I don't know what they're about to do.
But it looks like it.
Is there any matchup you want to invest some extra time into?
I mean, for me, it's a set Echo matchup because I feel like that's gonna be like a bloodbath or something. I don't know.
The bloodbath.
I think Team Rapi EMEA watched one too many League PC videos and they feel like Yasuo ADC is actually a viable pick.
Welcome to WildRift.
They're gonna make it work. You have to believe in him. Like, his name is Grand Entrance. Sounds like a very enthusiastic Rakan player.
Yep.
Minions have spawned.
I definitely want to see a Rakan play on Yasuo.
I mean, both go in and knock out people, so there's similarities. What does he run? He runs Ignite and he has Fleet Footwork. We look at the early ward here already.
He's going full AP, which I think is better than tank, but it's still weird.
Well, Morgana's being left alone, but she's not choked out of minions at all. Like, I'm never a fan of hard pushing the wave against a mage type, because what are you gonna do? Like, now you walk here and do specifically what? You just exist, right? You can't even accomplish anything, I believe.
Yeah. I mean, especially if Braum is holding mid, because then you can't even follow up with your mid laner, because you can't get trial. That is briefing.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter, you know. You know already, like the Ruby Crystal second win setup, like there's no way he's gonna die. Ooh, this tower shot. If Dit's binding connected, it could have been a pretty dire situation for the Kai'Sa really early on.
Also not a fan of the Braum Morgana lane.
They're so reactive.
Zero synergy with Braum.
Like, one of the funny interactions with Leona is like, Leona pops her second ability into the wave level 1 and Morgana places cool, you just insta-wipe the wave. It's just so nice to do. Because Morgana will struggle with mana up until the first reset for boots or mana, and if they're somehow choked out of this, then it's just unplayable. Like, look at this wave, it's doomed now. Like, if Kai'Sa doesn't, like, there's, look, but they're not punishing at all. They're giving the Morgana a free trip.
I mean, you could tell Ornn stack the wave to have it push towards him, and then Morgana grief the wave by Wing it to get 1 CS. And then Kai'Sa grief the wave back towards them.
Because the jungle already made his way down here, so if the wave is in a bad spot with Morgana not having mana, it's impossible to play. Taking damage here is... Okay, but that guy is just a goner. Yeah, it's just a goner.
Played a bit too impatient with that vibe, but it still worked out.
Morgana got her upgrade, got her boots now. Is finally able to play the game.
Oh, Kai'Sa's gonna stay for this wave. She might be dead.
But... Oh, Lee Sin! Oh, misses the Q! Ooh, Ducky's getting a little bit nervous. And yeah, Ornn is not a bad support champion. Like, he doesn't need gold to be efficient. So, I mean, you get gold anyway in WildRift as support. You're rich, actually.
I mean, especially in this kind of a lane, it has more value than Braum inherently. Braum just doesn't.
Oh, what a nice attempt with the kick. If this kick connects onto the Corki, he just dies instantly. But now? Nah, Braum is dead. There's just no way to trade back anything. A lot more action here compared to the other matches we had.
Ornn is level 5 now. Maybe they can look for something. But there's Braum E and there's Windwall.
Adjust the volume. Okay, give me a second so I can turn him up. Okay, Mozilla should be loud enough now for you guys.
Hello, hello, hello? Can you hear me?
Ooh, for the first time in a long time, we see actually some proactive jungling going into the enemy jungle. Ooh, Ducky jumps in, is very close to the Vi. Gets caught in transition, but the Lee Sin will certainly escape over the wall. Just waiting to bait the Vi in.
Echo is still pretty much even in gold with Set, which I don't know how that happened.
Nice combo!
Oh.
Look at the Yasuo popping off here.
Braum ult. Oh, it's so hard to skirmish into this team fight, into this team comp. With Lee Sin, Yasuo, Braum and Set, they're just made for these kind of skirmishes.
They're all in a corridor, like in a very tight corridor, it's super narrow, and they get kicked into the face, knocked up again, then the Braum shield is there, you can't deal any damage, and you just get completely blown apart.
I think what Red side has to do is just look to scale. There's just no way they can contest early game fights against this kind of a team comp.
The damage is way, like, it's too easy to deny the damage, right? So, but there's just no way they could ever lose late game unless the Lee Sin does the miracle kick at some point later on.
Yeah. I mean, they also just have very weak early game champions with Kai'Sa and Echo, and even Corki without his package is not that strong.
The only thing I'm really afraid of is a Morgana on full items. I hate this champion when it gets items.
Yeah, but I feel like there's enough threat on Morgana to the point where she can't just W at max range.
Well, did you just see the Yasuo? I think he had fun. He was able to move. Poor guy. Morgana coming in and going first. 13 HP turret. Nice kick by the Lee Sin. Picking up the tower. Cleaning up house. one person will fall. Ooh, if this Q hits, he might
They might get
killed
mid turret from this. Corki is pushing mid.
Corki's getting a lot of gold here. Ooh, Grunt entrance. A few dashes going a little bit south. I'm just curious to see what the Echo is gonna accomplish this game as a champion.
Yeah, I mean, he rushed Riftmaker, which, again, I don't really agree with necessarily. You just don't deal any damage with this item first on Echo.
But this... Oh, he got denied by the guy. Nice reset. Oh, he was a little bit impatient. He could have nearly killed the Corki, but still kills the Corki because Yasuo is a cool champion.
Lee Sin barely didn't have a kick up in the initial skirmish, but because the fight extended for this long, they got the Yasuo knock up into Lee Sin kick combo.
I'm not a fan seeing Duskblade in a competitive setting on Kai'Sa. I'm really not a fan.
I think Duskblade's fine as long as you're gonna build 80, but she's clearly going AP. So I don't understand the Duskblade.
Like in solo queue, you can always make the argument like it's about snowballing on first item and being super strong, but just go Sense Reaver at this point in like more of a like this kind of setting. This is so sketchy down here. And so far the Set and Echo just don't do anything, they just exist like next to each other. They just breathe into each other's faces.
If it goes this way, Set is just gonna have more value, because Echo inherently needs gold to be strong. And they're both kinda at low amounts of gold.
At least one team picked up an Ocean Dragon, which is at least setting up an Ocean Soul, which is probably not going to do too much. Nice escape by Sanjiren up there. Now the Ornn is coming with the ultimate, misses the ultimate.
Set didn't press his ignite. Sanji healed for his full health bar with his ult. He should have been dead after that play.
Sanjiren is about to pick up Nash's Tooth, making sure to have more haste, dealing some on it damage. Now the Kai'Sa is caught in a very bad spot, runs into the binding, and just, yeah, well, goes into the next game here.
Yeah, as the only AP champion on the team comp, it's also important that Morgana gets some gold. So I think it's better for her to get the kill than Yasuo.
Let me quickly check the first strike value here so far. 235 on the Corki, 127 onto the Morgana. Still scaling. Like, I'm not a fan of first strike Morgana. Like, what's your take on that?
Yeah, me neither. No, I generally don't like first strike on most ranged champions, unless they're champions like Samira or Nyla, where you can actually get a lot of damage done in a short amount of time. But if you're just throwing out Corki ults or Morgana Ws, then you're gonna get like 10 gold or something.
I mean, to be fair,
impactful.
If you're running the Mana Munisense reverse setup on Corki and you hit a red rocket, it's more than 100 gold from just that stupid rocket sometimes. It's absurd how much gold you gain.
Yeah, but at that point you're gonna have like 3 items already, no? Which 100 gold does matter sometimes at that point, but it's not really that impactful anymore. I'd rather just have a laning rune then.
The Morgana's walking too close, gets collapsed and instantly killed. A big blunder here.
First strike value for Corki.
True. This fight looks so uncoordinated, something they really do not want to happen.
Yeah, there's the second dragon now for red side. Now there's a genuine chance that they just get Drake Soul and run away with the game. Because I feel like this Vi hasn't been doing anything, while Lee Sin has tried his hardest to carry his team.
The thing is, does the Ocean Soul realistically impact the game in any way? Nice combo. Nice Sonya Spy by avoiding knockup.
They get the mid lane turret from the initial chunk that Corki got onto it. I think it matters to a degree because you're playing against Morgana, and Morgana W is always going to hit you at some point. So you're just going to have like a bit more HP before the fight starts.
I mean, the thing is, how many people can reliably proc the Ocean Soul to even gain the regeneration before fight starts?
Isn't it just when you hit anything, not just champions?
No. Nope, you need to hit champions in this game.
Okay.
You need to hit champions, it scales terribly. It's not a good look. Is this guy even gonna die here? He gets CC'd for ages, maybe he can't even use his second ability. He rolls away, hits a big second ability.
Oh, it's W!
Oh, Lee Sin just got popped. His death timer is long enough to start Baron when it spawns. This could be the game-closing play.
I think Lee Sin thought he had his Q on Echo. That's why he took it reactivated after his ult.
Oh, wait. Vi just chose death. It was a free Nasher, if they truly chose to, because they were healthy enough to do so. I believe, at least.
Is Vi? What's Vi building? Balmy Cinder into Longsword?
I think it's Titanic Hydra.
Yeah. She doesn't even have any HP items. She has like 200 HP from Trinity Force and 200 HP from Boots.
I mean, it's 250 here, then it's another 150 there. Maybe she has Overgrowth as well. Another fight happening, even though there's no Nasher opportunity. Sundry and ult's back is safe, but the Orn will fall. Maybe he saves him. Nope.
Oh, the Orn Taxi?
Ooh, look at the ring around the Rosie.
This is Nash, no?
Oh, they need to be careful. Maybe the Vi will be able to steal this.
They have enough tools to keep Vi out. They have Lee Sin Kick. Set could just be walking around. They don't need him to DPS this Nash. Oh, Braum, I guess.
Starting to spot. Yeah, this one will be given over. There's nothing to do. But the free Morgana pickup instantly demolished that one.
Corki has a ton of gold. He has 12k gold.
12. You just got into the wrong neighborhood. 390 gold from first strike. 390. And now we hit the point where it becomes really powerful.
We went Crown. I don't like that. I don't think you're ever in engage range for Lee Sin Yasuo.
I would have loved to see any other item.
Yeah. Essence Reaver. I don't know. Even just like a, I don't know, defensive item like Starax. I feel like it's better than Crown.
I think it's very difficult for the enemy to reach. And if anything, you probably want a QSS over anything else, no? On Corki in this game.
Yeah.
Maybe they'll be able
Crown
to
doesn't. Crown doesn't even allow you to aggressively package in because you're gonna die anyway. Like, I don't understand this purchase.
Well, it's a shield, makes him look, makes him feel a little bit safer, maybe. This tower will eventually fall. There's just no way they can defend this. Being very patient here. Ult's on the spot, tries to clear the wave.
Lee Sin Kick? Oh, nice.
What just happened to the Lee Sin Kick? That was so weird. Lee Sin is nearly dying as well to this combo. The Lee Sin with his 1 HP and the Grand Entrance Yasuo will certainly fall here. Sanji collects the kill under the Lee Sin, gets stunned up by Braum, but no damage. Look at him kiting, but falls to the Braum.
Couldn't Yasuo have just dashed onto Echo and gotten the kill and gotten out?
Most likely. But this will provide them with the Ocean Soul. Unless...
Oh, Vi's griefing?
Goes big. What? Just... Did you see that? Just yeeted out of the air.
Wait, there's a chance.
Oh
my goodness!
The soul! Denied!
Vi is trying her hardest to win this game for blue side.
Vi is fuming. Ooh, Morgana is going for Ryleys.
Corki has 15k gold. Holy moly.
He is rich, and he's going for a Rift Maker now. Soul was denied. That is such a terrible thing. Like, look, they invested so much time to pick up the soul by investing into dragons, and they got nothing. They lost the soul, and now they only have individual dragons, which are basically worthless.
Yeah. And it's still even in gold. And there's, because of the team fight comp that blue side has, there's still a decent shot to just win one team fight and they win the game.
I mean, now we're at the point where the next Nasher, unironically, could end the game. Because the first Nasher was
also getting very strong.
The first Nasher was supposed to seal the deal, but through these accidents that happened, they just would give it another chance. Do they have enough control? They weren't able to sweep this entire place here, so they get caught by a lot of damage.
One chunk from Morgana W takes like 300 HP off Kai'Sa. It's just the
Ooh, that was really close. It nearly hit Kai'Sa. Liandry's is really doing work here. The Kai'Sa needs to find some sustain.
I would have liked Corki to have Liandry's and Riftmaker here instead of Crown and Riftmaker. I feel like this game just comes down to whoever can poke more, and then blue side looks for the hard engage.
Like, every Morgana binding is just such a big risk. If it connects on anyone but the Ornn, the person just dies.
And Ornn can't even freely use his ultimate in these
The
scenarios.
fly gets caught! There's just no way.
Just be down again.
Yeah, but why are they fighting like this? Oh, they get caught again! Sanji goes back, survives, but gets kicked in the face and sent home. Don Awful trying his hardest to get away.
Has the flash?
Nah, he just can't move. Look at him, he just can't move. It's impossible. They have too much chase down.
Blue side is playing this game very well.
They are getting, they're most likely gonna get the Elder from this play, and you all know what happens if a Morgana has Elder.
Corki has to look for the hero play here. He has the most gold in the game still.
Oh, binding is out. The shield is also out. They have to go for this. If they don't go for this, they will lose the game. There's just, I think now there's no comeback potential.
Yeah, now they just reset. They clear out bot wave. They take Nash. It's just smooth sailings from now.
Yeah, the package will time out very soon. So they just have to wait, and then they just go for Nasher. It's just not possible to do anything anymore. The Kai'Sa is not able to reach in any of these fights. She's getting ran down so easily by the enemy, she can't really deal damage to them.
Yeah, I mean, this is the issue with like going Duskblade Nashers as well, because you're so DPS oriented that your W doesn't really deal any damage anymore.
I mean, Kai'Sa could have gone for like
5 stacks.
Like a very interesting constellation of Liandry's as well, maybe, just looking for the pot shots permanently.
Yeah, but I feel like then you'd just be better off by building Manamune or Essence User. Either of those.
Ooh, close one with Nasher. Secures the one with 40 HP. It's stolen by the Vi!
Maybe redeeming himself?
Yeah, but now the Elder is coming in clutch, and if they get too close, it's an instant death.
And this set is just a raid boss. You can tell the set has a lot more impact than the Echo top lane.
Oh no, the Yasuo maybe just got himself killed. Nice combo here, but it's not enough. Oh. The backstab on the Yasuo, placing the second ability, actually got him killed. More than 20 seconds left on the respawn, and the wave isn't in a position yet, so it might not be an ending angle, because the Corki has the Baron and might be able to one-shot waves.
It's also very hard to end without Nash in general. You kind of have to dive this Corki.
Ooh, gets the crown away.
Oh, massive rocket throw.
Yeah, they... massive damage, but they will still end the game because the Corki walked away.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, what?
Oh, 57 HP!
57 HP? The question is, will these kills matter? Is it possible for them to end? Is it enough time? There's no Nexus shield.
They still have Nash. This wave is gonna survive up until the Nexus.
Ooh, Vi starts tanking, so they get the turret priority.
And Corki does a ton of damage to turrets.
Ooh, this
they
is
have
going...
Vi. I think this might be it.
That is a heartbreaker. Vi's tanking, so the minions can just walk in. They actually won the game!
This Corki put the team on his back. It was completely 1v9.
That is the biggest heartbreaker I've seen throughout the entirety of the tournament.
Oh, it's so difficult to end games when you don't have Nash. Maybe there was a chance if they had dropped one auto less onto Corki and one auto more onto the Nexus, but it's so hard to calculate.
That is such a tilter. But the question is, do you believe they can bounce back from this?
I think they can. I think they played a very clean game up until that point. The issue was just that they were kind of not strong enough in the late game with their team comp, so they had to force something. And when they looked for the early end opportunity, they didn't play it out properly and just lost the game because of it.
But the sequence of events, number one, losing the Baron in such a situation with Elder in your hands, then from this Baron play, the Corki living with a sliver of HP, or, well, letting the Nexus live with a sliver of HP, and everything just happened in such a way that seemed so unlikely, and then just exploded into their face. Like, anyone would be at least mildly upset over this.
It's most definitely very upsetting.
It's a heartbreaker.
I feel like if I was that Lee Sin, I'd have some harsh words for my teammates.
You, come with me. We go into the locker room. Who gets invited to this tournament? You were able to apply to this tournament, or basically to register, and then depending on your elo, you were able to either join the Showmakers Cup or the Playmakers Cup. And if you don't have a team, there was an opportunity to match you with LFT people. And if you had a team, it just depended on your overall elo. Like if you had people that were Sovereign or Challenger, you need to play in the higher cup. And if you have a lower people lower or in GM, you can play in the lower bracket cup. Give Me Humans was begging to get humans on his team, but he said, no, I don't need them. I'll become the human myself and just carry my team to victory in every angle possible.
This was a massive Corki performance, and in the end, the crown came in clutch. If he didn't have that crown, he would just die instantly on that tower dive.
So he was right all along.
True.
Oh, do you believe they go into the replay right now and they check if somebody missed an auto attack?
I don't think they can be in the lobby at the same time. Or you mean on your live stream?
On my stream, yeah.
No. I mean, maybe, but I feel like most definitely someone misplayed something. I feel like there's no way they couldn't have ended there. But again, it's so difficult in the situation to make the right decisions.
I'm wondering if I could...
CET didn't need to ult Corki in that scenario. You could just hit the Nexus.
I really wonder if I could set up my stream deck to like clip something for me, so we can rewatch it in like these highlight things from LCS, etc.
I mean, you could lose like, what is it called? The Nvidia one, where it replays the game or something, like to replays the last minute of screen time.
Oh, imagine the quality step up move. Do you believe they'll pick Kai'Sa again, or will they choose something else?
I don't think so, and I don't hope so, because the Kai'Sa didn't really seem useful whatsoever. Neither did the Echo top lane.
I am not a fan of Kai'Sa in a competitive environment unless it's literally a Kai'Sa game. But what is a Kai'Sa game?
Probably if you're looking for some AD carry that can follow up long range engages. Like, I think Kai'Sa Vi is fine, right? But you don't play Kai'Sa Vi. First of all, you don't pick Vi this early. And second of all, you don't pick it into Morgana. Because if you're picking Vi into Morgana, you have so many, like, your options are so limited. You can't just press R on anyone you want to.
Did you do your gamba?
No, I'll set up right now. My bad. I need to end the poll before I can start a new one. True. Who will win game 2? What side selection do we have here? Where is...
Oh.
Iceborne is on the blue side. Team Iceborne.
Blue side and Rapi EMEA.
Red side.
Okay, Gamba is open. You can feel free to lose your imaginary points that don't even exist.
Gonna start now.
We hop into the next draft. %59% voted for Team Iceborne in the last game, and only 40% YouTube just playing games with us, I guess, because 59 plus 40 is 99. We get scamazed. Only voted for the Rapi EMEA team. So we got some fan favorites. Now we are starting. The draft hasn't even like completely started. Like we're not even close to being finished, and it's already 86% for Rapi EMEA on red side.
Another Camille ban. Camille is just a stable top laner. Probably the most broken top laner in WildRift history, with how long it's been strong and first pick and first ban worthy.
Who doesn't love your top laner that just gets level 5, walks to mid lane, presses ult, and somebody dies?
And it's so hard to push Camille out of lane as well. Even in the supposedly winning matchups like Jax and Fiora, she just stands on the tower and presses W and farms the wave.
What an overtuned ability. Yeah, we will not see many of these broken champions because they're all getting banned.
I like the Lee Sin ban. Ducky looked very proficient on the champion.
I want to see an Evelyn. I want to see an absolute demonic creature in the jungle.
I feel like you can't go Evelyn. I think a lot of the Team Rapi's early game pressure came from the Lee Sin making plays, and that's how they got their leads. I feel like the team wouldn't be functioning as well with a farming jungler.
You know the drill, just farm faster.
Be the Cauthus, full clear, and then have like 2 hours left till your next jungle respawn.
I mean, you can do like a 122 full clear on Evelyn, just putting it out there.
Yeah, but then you can't really gank because you're level 4.
I gotta wait for the Scuttle Crab to make its appearance. And hey, the charm flash Q always worked. Why is Akali being banned? Because this champion is a demonic creature. Another Ornn first pick. Was it a first pick last time?
Also, it was second pick. Lee Sin was first picked. Was it first pick actually?
I think yeah, Lee Sin and then Ornn R1, I believe.
Yeah. Yeah, it was Lee Sin first pick and then Ornn into Corki and then blue side pick Yasuo.
Such an early set pick.
I guess they just don't want to deal with it themselves. Like they feel like Set was just too powerful last game. There wasn't much they could do about him.
The power scanner. Over 9,000.
Just basically any jungler in the game you could follow this up with.
That has been one of the most annoying champions to ever deal with in WildRift as well, the good old Yone.
A champion that historically did really well into Yone is Kha'Zix, because with Yone's play pattern, he isolates himself a lot. So you're gonna get at least one isolated Q on him when he dashes into your team.
Ooh, a fresh pickup. This champion was previously banned in the first game.
Yeah, it was banned second rotation before. Now it's picked in the first, in the first 3 picks. Also, this kind of just says that Ornn is top lane.
I just want to see a Samira, even though it doesn't matter if it's good or bad. I just want to see a Samira.
Lucian is also not a great pick with Thresh. You have a lot of early game pressure.
Yeah, but I think they might need to lock down some of the hyper carry champions. Like, now they've settled for a champion in jungle that isn't really proactive early on. And, like, Zeri looks better and better by the moment, because he will always have a target to it, because CET will always try to get in. So you have one proxy target to continuously hit for the Zaps to hit the backline. Vladimir. Ooh. Do you know, like, the most gruesome thing for the Vladimir? Like the lovely Jace in the mid lane, or the Kassadin, or... I mean, the Kassadin might be a little bit sketchy.
Even Lucian is pretty strong at Vladimir. I feel like this champion just has too many bad matchups to pick it this early. Kind of the Vi dilemma again. You pick a champion that has a lot of blatant counters this early into the draft.
But like, if you're assuming that the Yone is going to be jungle, I think just locking in a Jace mid lane to make sure that this Yone is allowed to farm, that he is allowed to play whatever he wants to do, would be very helpful.
Yeah, I feel like when you have a bruiser top laner, that most definitely is going to win his lane, because there's very few matchups that CET loses. You kind of want a mid laner that can create pressure as well, because then your top side is smooth sailing. So you sometimes even have the chance to just invade enemy topside, even if your jungle is theoretically weaker than the enemy jungle.
They're banning all of the
against the
champions away. Zeri being removed, Varus being removed, and Kassadin being removed. Kassadin, one of the most infamous issue champions for Vladimir as well.
Also for Yone, actually. It's very hard to pilot Yone.
It's so annoying.
Unless you're laning against Kassadin, I think then it's a bit easier, but because you're jungle Yone, and it's Kassadin mid lane, you can't really beat him in lane early.
Like, there are a few champions left for bot lane that can just play a neutralized type of style. A Sivir.
What is this? Is this the first Sivir we've seen?
Yeah, but honestly, I don't think I'm too much of a fan.
Yeah, I think Sivir is just budget Zeri at this point.
I would have probably rather seen an Ezreal if you want to pick an AD carry.
There's the Jace, but is Jace jungle? No,
it's Syndra mid, maybe, or Syndra maybe also bot lane if they play it.
Probably Syndra bot, Jace mid, because then there's no reason to pick Jace if it's bot.
I think it's just better to have Jace in mid lane.
Yeah, especially against Vladimir.
Technically speaking, you can also play Jace bot lane and just hammer people's faces because you have a Thresh next to you and you have so much damage. Ooh, the Fiora pickup. Well, the side lane is gonna be interesting.
So it's set support with Sivir. It's a very unconventional lane. Sivir generally not known as a champion that does well with engaged supports. He kind of wants an enchanter.
It will take so much time for the Sivir to become relevant in any way.
Yeah, by the time Sivir is relevant, Syndra is twice as relevant. I think this game just hinges on Vladimir, I feel. Vladimir and Fiora are the ones that can carry this game. I don't see Yone or Sivir doing a lot.
They have an auto win in the side lane, so the question is how can they use this to their advantage? With a very passive mid lane champion. And I don't really think that the bot lane they have is very like proactive. They're like more reactive.
Yeah. I mean, the issue is that that even though Sivir has great wave clear, she can't really get prio against Syndra in mid lane once the solo laners go to side lanes. Because you can't just walk up and clear the wave in front of Syndra's face.
Also, in this game, the Thresh can't really go for a sneaky level 1 rotation, because what is he supposed to achieve? Who can he help and do something? Like, maybe he can get a flash mid lane if the Vladimir makes a mistake, but anything he does for top lane doesn't really do anything. And he might be just forced to just AFK, kinda.
I mean, he can't just lane, right? I feel like they're strong enough in lane that they can 2v2 this. I think it's more of a skill matchup than you'd think.
Look at the set just denying lane pressure, because, you know, the Jace can just jump into your face level 1 and completely blast you apart. And somebody chat like first strike Yone. The thing is, it's a jungle Yone. He will never get to fully stack his spells. He will come from Fork of War, hit his combo, and somebody dies. That's the idea behind first strike Yone.
I think I'd rather see Kraken Slayer then, if you want to go with that route, because Kraken just does more damage than first strike on Yone.
Fiora is zoning this top laner, but is slowly pushing into him so the on will not lose too much. But heavy trading on the other side of the map, however that's possible.
Oh, a lot of stacks for Syndra already.
Stack check? It's 10 stacks already. Ooh, nice riposte.
Sadly can't follow up because the Q was on CD.
Yone not going for a full clear, skips the wolf camp. Both jungles are gravitating here.
Yoda's clear speed has been gutted so many times in a row. It's kind of hard to go on full clear on this champion.
I mean, for good reason, this champion was way too good in jungle.
Yeah, especially if you can clear like Gromp or like Gromp on blue side, and then just E Q3 over the wall and just get a free gank off.
I mean, even now, as like nothing's happening right now, like one of the most prominent things Yone does is he these camps up here and then is here and then uses his E to get here and gangs you in mid lane. It's so annoying if you don't have vision.
It's so hard to react to it because E out of fog into Q3 is so fast.
So far, nothing has happened.
We have the fabled one true ring on Ornn.
Maybe he'll buy some more, who knows? But yeah, he's being completely bonkered up there. Look at him, poor guy.
In lore, there were 7 rings, right? In Lord of the Rings.
Well, he can't really get 7.
Yes.
Jace aiming. Ooh, close one. Would have been a nice and very, very important hit.
Oh, doesn't dodge the Jace melee Q damage.
And Vladimir about to go home, certainly, right? And Vladimir seems to be going for the Boots of Mana as well. Did he just pick up the fruit? No, he didn't. Okay, I was about to say. It goes Boots of Mana, and maybe he'll go for a Prophet's Pendant as well. Very early.
Once you get the Boots of Mana, this matchup becomes a lot more manageable for Vladimir. Because you have the movement speed to get out of range, and then you have the bonus AP to heal more with Q.
So far, I must say they're really trying to deny the Jace to the best of their ability.
And this is kind of the issue when you have Kha'Zix in your jungle and a weak top lane and a weak bot lane, kind of, because Syndra doesn't really do much early game either. Which is why I would have liked to see something like Samira or Lucian in the bot lane. So you could at least have one lane that you could play towards.
I love to play Samira into an enemy AD carry and just dash into their faces and kill them. Because there's just no counterplay they have. It feels so overbearing. Nice jumping in. You're popping the ultimate. Ooh, avoids the certain death here. Hits the hook, hits another knockup. Oh, but nothing will happen. Set ults. As long as they don't deal damage, it will all be fine.
Kha'Zix kind of griefed this play by jumping into Yone ult.
Nobody dies.
Very nice combo by Thresh and Ornn to salvage the situation. Could have looked a lot more dire than this.
Has to flash away here. Crucial just before the objective spawns, and the Yone is hovering towards the dragon as it seems.
This also means that Sivir doesn't have ult. So if Syndra gets to reset here, there's a chance they're stronger in the next upcoming fight.
Sivir has no mana, which makes the champion completely useless as well. There's a little set in your jungle, but there's nothing you can do about him. Everyone is just dancing around the dragon right now. Very interesting trades happening mid lane, completely being blown apart.
That was a very greedy trade by Jace. He knew they were on the bot side river.
Look at Red Team really trying to go for fights. They don't want to give the enemy anything, so they just pretended to start with the dragon and now start running at the enemy. They want to make sure they don't gain anything.
Oh, nice combo.
Oh no, Ornn got denied, his ult didn't really hit, and they get completely obliterated. Ooh, Sanji getting a little bit greedy here.
Oh. Vladimir getting bold.
Nice riposte.
Jace is here. Jace is dealing a lot of damage.
I believe this dive was just uncalled for and really didn't achieve anything. If anything, it hurt them more than anything because they already won. They could have just reset, went for the dragon play, place Herald mid lane as they go back, and just get so much more gold with like no risk involved.
Yeah, I mean this was kind of a steal already. This was criminal by red side because the only way they can get the first objective fight win is if Jace is not there or if Jace is dead. So by getting the pick onto Jace, they ended up winning the fight on Herald, and they should just be okay with that happening. Like they shouldn't need to force more.
Sivir got the entirety of the gold from Herald.
Yeah, I don't necessarily like that. I feel like the gold is better placed on Vladimir than on Sivir. But I guess you kind of want to use it on mid lane turret as well.
Sivir dies. That is not something that should ever happen in that way. Nice took by the Thresh.
Completely blown up by Jace. Somehow she was in melee range for Jace melee Q to hit him.
That's something that should never happen, and this will obviously lead to them losing mid lane. They will not be able to get there fast enough. Platings will fall in a few seconds, and they just have to make sure. Ooh, maybe the Yone has an angle.
Oh, he missed his Q.
I think his Q3 timed out, maybe, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, because that could have been a major play with Q3 into ult.
I mean, also Seth expected the Yone to be in the fight, so he went in, and suddenly there was no backup for him anymore, so he died.
Like, again, the game is slowing down significantly.
Which kind of benefits red side team comp, right? Because they have the Vladimir and the Fiora.
And not only them, but also the Yone. Like, this champion will also become a problem. Sanji is taking the tower in front of that Ornn, because Ornn can't really do anything. Like, nothing. Like, what is the Ornn supposed to do against him? This might be a little bit too greedy, because you're just going into Narnia with this play. Like, look, the Ignite being popped, like, this is kind of an ego play. It's just, nothing will be achieved. Do you believe he will pick up the Mana Mune?
I don't think so. I think you would have tier by this at this point already, if you wanted to go Mana Mune.
Ooh, nice play by them, the Thresh walking away. Syndra being caught in mid lane. Look at the flash combo. This is something that just can't keep on happening. But look, like this can't keep on happening. Like either mid laner or people that are in mid cannot be caught in this way because they all had information where the people were at all times. Like they knew, but they didn't think they were in range.
Yeah, and I feel like you need to hover this Syndra a lot more when she's defending mid lane turret.
Uh-oh! Hello! Oh, nice flash, but will it be enough? Oh my god, he just reached him, said no. Oh no. Like, you remember this action down here, like the Brücke Tilter? He just walks there thinking about nothing, everything is nice, what a nice day. And then like, ah shit, here we go again. Kha'Zix's being bullied out of the jungle.
With losing your mid lane tower, because then the enemy team is just free to do whatever they want, and they can always rotate just as fast as you can. Because if this mid lane tower is standing, then it's a lot riskier to go for a play like this on bot side.
Look at the books Vladimir is collecting. Guy's a reader. The triple book setup. The maximum AP juicer.
Some of the gold is still very even in all lanes except for the Ornn Fiora lane.
Like, this is not allowed to happen. The Civ is not allowed to take these trades, but it baits him in, I guess, and the Yone comes over the wall. Like, this is not allowed to have a nice ult by the Yone, getting in deep but going back to his shadow form.
Ornn is in.
Oh my god, this Ornn. I think, honestly, Red Team got baited by the belief that Yone hits the ult and is there with them, but then snapped back all the way to here, and then couldn't participate anymore.
Yeah, I mean, Red Team also got bailed out by the fact that everyone focused CET, while Jace is fighting 1v1 mid lane. I feel like that's also a big part.
But again, like, it can't keep on happening. The Sivir lost half her HP before the fight even started, being hit by Jace combos, walking into melee range. Even though it like maybe functioned as a bait, this cannot really be happening, because if you lose HP on Sivir against these champions, you can never ever walk up again.
How many stacks does Syndra have?
Syndra currently has 64.
Okay, so she has her W upgrade, but not the E upgrade.
A lot of damage onto the set.
Oh.
The set gets one tap, can't even use his shield. The Yone is in the backline, they're all with 1 HP. He snipes him.
Ornn is waiting so long with these ultimates.
Look at this absolute giga chat. But
also,
meanwhile,
he's getting the cleanup kills in the end.
They're just slowly winning this game via the side lanes. Like, looking at the gold differential, it might not look much, but given the champions they had, like having a Vladimir mid lane that is close in gold with AJs is massive.
Yeah, but I also feel like the Fiora only being up 1.5k gold is not enough to warrant picking this champion. You need to be further ahead at this point into the game, because Ornn is always going to be more useful than you. By just existing.
The thing is, if you look at the team fight, if Ornn comes to the team fight, Fiora just runs on side lane, but if Ornn isn't there, who's gonna realistically stop the Vladimir from killing everyone? Like, look, he's so close to the 3rd item completion, and then it's over.
Yeah, my issue is just that Jace should beat this Fiora on side lane at this point. And even if he doesn't, Fiora has to drop very low to get any sort of pressure onto Jace. So it doesn't always have to be Ornn that holds her on side lane.
I am your reckoning!
But something that's not allowed to happen is something like this. Like, the Vladimir was completely isolated inside and had no backup, so the Kha'Zix just runs him down. And at the same time, the Fiora is just pushing side lane. They really need to be more keen on making sure that the Vladimir isn't alone. Because I think as of right now, the only person that can really kill the Vladimir so fast would be either the Jace hitting a full combo or the Kha'Zix getting close. And Kha'Zix can only really get close if he's completely alone.
Yeah, especially if he's completely alone and he's face checking somewhere. Wait, did Fiora did Syndra intentionally miss her E so she doesn't get stunned by the parry?
I don't know. That's a very interesting stuff.
Can you go back in the replay?
No, because now it will happen. Yeah. I mean, chat wants auto spectate, and you'll have no fun watching auto spectate. But here you go, enjoy. Look, there's a fight happening, and auto spectate is on Syndra.
Okay, Silver lost half HP.
Yeah, we don't know why. It's fine, we still have no clue. As you see, auto spectate is not going to do anything for you. Nothing happening. You're seeing random things. No setup.
Yeah, Ocean Drake is spawning. Is this gonna be Inferno Soul? Yes, right. Inferno Soul is gonna be massive this game on Jace. Syndra as well.
I mean, it also adds some more damage. Like, if you think about souls, right? Like, Infernal Soul is the one soul that adds so much value to every person.
Oh, Jace is caught. Just barely flashes out. Syndra one-shots the Sivir.
How is this? He just jumps in.
Oh, Sivir's caught again. Vladimir's dead. Oh, this is it. This is GG. Wait, why does Jace have shield though?
I don't know. But the only person alive is the Fiora.
Oh, nice enough.
Nice turning the fight here again. No, they can't do Nash. Nice flake combo.
That was very important by Fiora. Also very greedy by Kha'Zix to just walk in there.
This
If
game...
Kha'Zix survived there, this could have just been it. They get the soul and they probably get Nash as well.
I mean, I don't think they lose the dragon, right? If they I don't think Fresh should be here. I think Fresh should be lanterning somebody back, because otherwise it just takes too long.
And now it comes down to old cities, I guess, which everyone has their ults up because it's WildRift.
They always have it.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't like the Jace build. It's going Collector now. He doesn't have any percentage pen.
Looking the set, but nothing will come of this.
Also, Essence Reaver is just more damage than Collector.
Nice flash, but he misses the ultimate. The Infernal Soul's being claimed. Yona goes for a quick little kill onto the Syndra. Look at the Ornn!
Holy shit. He's killing everyone.
Vladimir comes in, 1 HP survival, but the Infernal Soul's doing work here.
They have to get out.
Even with the Infernal Soul, it's not enough.
Yeah, Syndra
This will spell
died
Nasher.
immediately at the start of the fight. She couldn't even get her ult or exhaust out.
Yeah, she just got one tap. Like the Ornn, look at the Ornn's look at the Yona's items. Like he will just constant one tap you.
No Serpent's Fang on... No, never mind. There's a Serpent's Fang in Kha'Zix.
Ooh, they will not even try. The thing is, now with Baron in their hands, and it's an 18-minute Baron, all they have to do is set up this Elder here. And once this Elder is set up, I think they just win. And you see, Soul is not...
With Fiora on side lane especially, like you don't have to start Elder now. You can just wait for Fiora to be in position.
Well, she just teleports in.
Like this is the only way they can misplay this scenario. They're forcing a fight right now.
Look at the damage they're dealing, and the Sivir is again caught in the middle, 1 HP. Set hits a nice stun, but it's just not enough. The Fiora's 1 HP probably dies to ignite. They're all 1 HP, look at them!
Oh, Syndra didn't do anything. Like, oh, Syndra kind of misplayed this fight very hard. She didn't press ult, she didn't press flash. She just got hit by Set E in melee range and then Yona ulted.
Ooh, but Ducky gets a nice little trade back, but the game will be over. Right? There's just no way.
What you can do is you can lower the sensitivity for your camera movement, so like when you move the camera, it's a lot smoother.
I think it's the bitrate, because I'm streaming at 2 things at the same time. So I don't have the Ethernet capacity to have it smooth, because so it lags. Because yeah, I still have a terrible upload. So it's always laggy if I'm streaming 2 things at the same time. Because nobody said anything in the last time. Because I always did it manually. Because auto-spectate is terrible in this game. And will always be terrible, because it doesn't know what's happening. Because a fight is picked randomly. It doesn't matter if you choose it.
It's not just necessarily that. You also don't see like the strategical standpoints where people are playing for positions or playing for vision. You just see like random waves dying on the map.
Damn. That was
crazy that this was a 2-0. It didn't look like a 2-0.
Yeah, the thing is, like, if you let the game pass, like, mentally, you had these fights where somebody was picked, and then everything fell apart. And then, like, what can Kha'Zix realistically do? What can they all do? And if you look at the champions, like, what did Sivir contribute as a champion in this game that another champion wouldn't have just done better? And how much was the Yone doing in this entirety of the game?
I feel like Jace kind of griefed this game by building the items that he did build, because you went magnetic, whatever it's called. You went shield, bow, and collector. I feel like that's such an awkward item build.
I mean, he was cooking for sure. He is cooking. I don't know what he's cooking, but he was. And also, like something. When the enemy has like strong all in, what is the downside? Why isn't any one of the players picking up, for example, the Protector's Vow? What stops the Fresh from doing so?
Why does Ornn not have a locket enchant? Like, he doesn't need the extra shield from Gargoyle. He's already unkillable. His entire job should just be to keep his Jace and his Syndra alive.
And if you just look at the champions again, Yone had such an easy time this game lining up these ultimates, finding the moments to go in. Whereas the Kha'Zix really, like, it was really struggling for him to get things done because of like the positioning overall is very difficult. There were a lot of fights in bad positions.
Wait, Ornn only got 10 grass procs this game? What the fuck? How does that even happen? This is like a 20-minute game.
First strike was not popping off.
Kind of useless.
That's a number you don't like to see, though.
How much did Jace get?
Nearly 1,000.
Yeah, I guess Jace was the only one that first strike was warranted on somewhat, right? But it's kind of like, I feel like if you just have electrocute on all these first strike champions, you just deal more damage. You don't even care about the like 600 gold you gain. Even on Yone, if you had electrocute, you would just be better off than first strike. But Kraken Slayer is probably just even better.
Just a
also
punishment
brutal,
from runes.
Brutal coup de grace. It's also very awkward on Jace.
If anything, I would run Brutal top lane to be an absolute creature, but on mid lane I don't see the necessity. I would rather go for the red tree mid lane and have sudden impact. Yeah.
You just deal so much more damage. And I can get behind coup de grace against Vladimir in lane, I guess, but it's just such a minuscule amount in terms of like the actual damage you get from it.
And what I liked the most was that the set was actually walking mid lane to deny the Jace early pressure, which is maybe something that the Fresh needed to mirror, so the Jace is allowed to play lane.
I think it's very dangerous though, because if Thresh mirrors, they just hard lose mid pressure, and then they have 2 people stuck under mid lane turret. And at that point, you can just do whatever you want and invade Yona's jungle. I think you're just praying that the enemy support doesn't know what they're doing. Because this only works if you actually have a mid laner that can contest waves with you as a set. Like if you have Lucian against Jay's mid lane, and Thresh walk, or like Set walks mid and Thresh walks mid, and you're just contesting waves against each other.
Just a ping pong. Is there anything else out of the ordinary we are seeing rune-wise? I mean, he went full Resolve Tree to mitigate the damage Jace is doing. Look at the Yone picking up sudden impact. He wanted to make sure that
damage as well from sudden impact.
And the funny thing is, like, he doesn't even have any other lethality item, like nothing. So it's insane how much damage it does.
Lethality doesn't scale with lethality, because I feel like most of the sudden impact damage comes from Yone's magic damage, actually, from his passive. Because no one's building magic resistance. So if you get like a sudden impact proc on your, like what is it, 50% magic damage every second auto, you actually deal a ton of magic damage off that.
But yeah, this Jace build is gonna haunt me for some time now.
Yeah.
Damn, look, this is a platinum game. That is very far away from the truth. Very far away.
I think we have some perennial top 10 challenger players in this game.
But trying to put solo queue live into a competitive environment, it's a completely different game. Solo queue has barely anything to do with comp.
Especially if you haven't been together a long time, which probably none of these teams really have been, because the tournament was announced very recently. So they had like maybe 2 or 3 weeks to practice before joining the tournament, if they even did practice at all.
And I can promise you, if you meet any of these people in a solo queue game, they would farm you. They would just farm you. Because it's always easy in chat to be like, okay, they're bad, they're terrible, yada yada yada. But the thing is, the stakes are different. The environment is completely different. So comparing these games to normal solo queue games is just completely bad faith.
Was this the only game today?
I think, yeah, because the schedule had to be shifted. This was the only series for today. Is that correct, Sam, if you're here right now?
Yes. So this is the last series of the knockout stage, and this weekend we will proceed to the semifinals.
Okay.
So we will see everyone this weekend, and I think the games will be much more better.
I mean, it's not about being better or worse. It also wasn't unfun. It's like if you're responding to just chat speaking, it's just chat being chat. You just have to take it with a grain of salt, because most of them don't know what they're talking about, and they just say things because, well, it's easy to say. So just don't take it too serious. That's all I can tell you.
And thank you to Sanji for agreeing to play 5 minutes before the tournament. Because Rappy MEA had some problems, had some player problems, so he agreed to step up in 5 minutes before the game started.
Yeah, that's a massive change.
Yeah, I mean, as far as I know, Sanji hasn't been playing the game either. So I think he's been performing pretty well these games. after he took like a month or 2 months break or whatever.
Probably even more of a break.
Yeah.
Sometimes you just love to read chat, right? It's just comical to me. Well, if I wasn't in a tournament setting, I would do some little flaming, but you're lucky for today. You get off free, my friend. Enjoy your day.
Fine, I can just do the flaming for you.
Just a typical chat thing. We love it. With that done, I think we will end the tournament part for now. Maybe we'll be watching some Chinese ranked games.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you
Fear
to
the
both of you
cleansing
for
fire.
casting today's
You are
game.
welcome.
Mozilla, thank you for the appearance.
Thank you for having me.
Okay.
And I wish you both a good night.
Goodbye,
Good night.
peeps.
Goodbye.
Okay, chat. We are alone. We are free. We have been unleashed. We can say mean things now. We are not officially wait. We can now speak. It depends if there is support gameplay available that's decent to look at, I suppose. Oh, that's okay. Let me set everything up in a moment.
Grant me the strength to forge by flame.
Royal is... I think Royal is still in NA right now. Correct me if I'm wrong. He told me he was traveling to Europe, but I don't think he's here yet. He said something about the second qualifier of another tournament. If I remember that correctly. If I do remember that correctly, that is. So yeah. Let me set everything up. What's your opinion about rank 1 champions? I love one support game. Yeah, let me quickly check. Is Decap's second item actually viable? It's okay. It's not like, if you think about just AP values, you do not lose so much. Because Rabadon's was changed, right? So at level 12 or 13 it grants you the previous full value of what it did before. So yeah, but usually the build path is Ludens into Infinity Orb and then Rabadon. That's like the typical thing. I think Vladimir can stray away from this path and just go for a decap if he really wants to. What's your opinion on rank 1 champions? You need to we need to talk about what you specifically mean by that. Heartstock Master? Wanna see my games? My 122 games? You wanna see how many ranked games I played? I'll show you. Hold up. Look at my ranked games. Look, I'm playing the same games you play in Sovereign. Isn't it amazing? You're welcome. Today there wasn't as much commentary because we shared it, so it's always kind of not awkward, but more difficult to maneuver everything. Because obviously Mozilla isn't standing in front of me, so I can't read his face to see when he wants to say something, so we just constantly do a little talking and just talk over each other at times. I mean, whatever elo I'll be playing in, the games I will play will be weird because it's an old account.
Did not deserve you.
My Irelia is horrendous. We will. It's better to not even talk about my Irelia. On this account, like I'll just quickly go through it. On this account, I'll just go all champions. On this account, it's mainly you see what I played on this account mainly throughout my seasons. I'll just quickly scroll through it, and then I'll show you my second account. Like, you can just take a look, and now I'll show you my second account. Yeah, this is my second account. So it's a little bit of everything apart from top lane. But since I'm a filthy abuser, I like to play either bot lane or what is it called? Or jungle. How you feel playing on an account by? Oh, you mean because it's 1,000 days old? It really depends on the environment you're playing in. If you consistently play in games that are not ended early, then you can obviously change the way you pick champions. For example, what is it called? For example, Kayle. Kayle in jungle. She sucks, right? Theoretically. But due to the way matchmaking works, player population is, and overall games are being played, the champion gets to win most of their games because people cannot end games. They don't know what to do, so this champion is allowed to scale and eventually win, even though in isolation the champion isn't good. And my account is super old, but like you see, I don't even have many games. And wait, I can. Where is it? Like here. Because I don't play that much. Was there ever a major change in game or item? Yes, we got introduced with runes. The biggest change I think we got in the game was these runes being implemented. What's that video about how to play around jungle? I think maybe ages ago, but I can't remember. I can't really remember. I wanted to fix this anyway. I guess I'll just put it like this. Right, should make ending easier. I think there's like a big issue when we talk about mid game, right? At 12 minutes you can get Nashor, but you can't end the game at 12 minutes getting Nashor. So you can only realistically gain, like, take away the Nexus Shield, okay? And you take away the Nexus Shield at 12 or 13 minutes, by the next time the next Nashor will be spawning, the Nexus Shield will be naturally disappearing, meaning the gold lead and the Nexus Shield advantage and maybe the inhibitor advantage you gain at that Baron time only really does anything for you if you get the Baron afterwards as well, like the second Baron. Because you will realistically only end with the second Baron. Oh, I need to, give me a second to fix up the Talon build. So I can save multiple, right? Yes, I can. Okay, this would be... This would be like a tankier bruiser variant. And let's go for another one. Now let's remove all of this and add another version that you can think about. That will be, I think, this. Into this, into this. You can debate having this as well. Then you have an Edge of Night. Where's my Edge of Night? And after the Edge of Night, you pick up a percentage armor per item, and all your situational items still come in. Varus is one of the most obnoxious laners. You just win lane as much as you just win lane automatically in most instances because the champion is too strong. But let me fix everything up here. Let me change away from my iPad to Chrome and go for this chat here. And now we are actually in business. Okay. Kraken, Varus top. I think Lethal Tempo does more for you. I mean, the all-in pattern is still the same, but you'll probably benefit more from Lethal Tempo, I believe, at least. With that done, let's just transition over to the review part, no? Okay. Hello, and today we are going to take a look at some Zed gameplay. I have a Zed mid lane gameplay and a Zed jungle gameplay from the Chinese server. As per usual, you'll see runes and everything you need to know on your screen, so no worries about anything when it comes to just learning how to play this game. I'll even boot up the Epic Pen here for a second so I can make sure to visualize everything you're seeing with some extra help. Let me end this poll here so we can actually start. So let's start here. He's playing against their Lux. Lux theoretically doesn't really have a chance against this champion, but as you see in the early stages of the game, he's trying to bait out the Lux third ability and hopes that she goes for minions with it. He wants to have the wave a little bit closer to him, because without having the wave close to him, he can't really go for an all-in, and he doesn't want to overextend going for minions because this is too much of a risk. Because if he goes too far forward here, he might get attacked from these sides, and he doesn't really want that. His biggest lifeline spell is this here, allowing him to go for specific traits or just damage, but if he has to use it while already overextended up here, he's at risk of dying. However, if he's like below this line here, he can then easily use it for poke damage. So he's just spending his time baiting out the enemy's mana pool to allow himself to then go for proactive traits. Being bound here doesn't really matter too much. The Lux is getting closer and closer to being out of mana. So now the Lux is in actual death range. Now both have to pick up fruit soon. And without the fruit, Lux isn't able to play. So now we have a potential kill window in these seconds. Like in 3 seconds, there's a kill window. If the Lux walks up, she might die unless she has bone plating. Look at the combo, decent damage. She'll probably flash after if she goes too close, because he does just do so much damage. Also, you should never forget about Zed being able to have this execute bonus damage once the enemy is too low. I think it's called Call the Weak. I think so. Like, look, this is something you should never do. Lux was already in kill range before, but apparently she didn't know, now walked up and got killed. And on level 5, this entire matchup flips as well. Like, having access or gaining access to this ultimate will allow the Zed to avoid every single luck spell. Every single luck spell is a linear skill shot. So Zed has now 2 tools to avoid this. And with this, Lux fundamentally cannot function anymore into Zed. The Lux will be farmed even if she's here or here. It doesn't matter. If the Zed avoids the binding, the Lux will die. So yeah, he's walking forward, holding his second ability just in case he uses her binding. And if that happens, he's instantly on her and kills her. Look. Maybe he's respecting potential jungle gank here, but again, the Lux is constantly in kill range, and it's such a risk to be a Lux into a Zed. Look at him, he just... Look at the overkill damage he just had. Which means she was in kill range the entirety of the time because her HP bar didn't really move. So it's insanity for a Lux player to even move up remotely close. Nice combo jumping backwards. Talon now goes in with the ultimate ability. Probably doesn't even... Did he proc the bleeding? It didn't look like it. But I think he did. But I don't think he went base. I hope he just opens the shop to make us see if Talon bought items. Ah, sadly we don't see. I mean, if I find some Katarina thing, certainly. Yeah, like, look, the Talon didn't have items. If the Talon had items, the Zed dies there. And look, this was only the combo. Nice dodge with the second ability running after the Lux. Probably, yeah. Do you see how much damage he does and what little Lux can do about this? There's just not much she can even hope to accomplish. And now she goes close to the wave, gets at least a minion, and every single minion she goes for now on this next wave, it's a death sentence. Because the moment his shadow comes up again, it will be a kill again. Now she used his binding, now he can just walk up. Lux walked up again, that is something... Okay, like, Lux uses binding, and if there's one lifeline you have as a Lux against a Zed, it's your binding. If you use it, you will always be all in and instantly killed. And on the flip side, if you're playing the Zed, you're just waiting for the binding to come out because you have multiple tools to avoid it. Then you jump close to the Lux, who can't really defend herself against you, and then you just instantly kill her and farm yourself, fed with her. It's just so... there are such rules that are so important. Getting bound here, but it will not kill him. Ooh, jumps back, flashes over, but now is being chased on by the Talon. Now probably falls to the Talon. Yep, actually does fall to the Talon. But I think it's also kind of nuts how much damage Lux does, given that she had boots and an M-Tomb. She nearly one-hit him. And I find it always so insane to see that this Lux champion is continuously avoiding any type of nerf and just got so much, like, it got insanely simplified. Ooh, this is not a good look. They lost the dragon and the fight. At least the Lux dies now again. Ooh, the binding connects, but it doesn't matter because Zed has too much damage. You mean the Void red and blue buff that is gifted to everyone on the map? I think eventually we will actually receive this. I think we will receive the evolved versions, the Void versions, eventually at least. Because they're always trying, like, imagine WildRift is the testing zone usually for PC stuff. At least it felt like this for a long time. So with them pushing this Void thing to the PC version, I believe it's just a matter of time until we get it. Like, it took them a lot of time to make sure that they got the Elemental Rift right, and as of right now, like, dragons don't really contribute anything. And I think we technically just need to rework on that one as well, because Herald is just so overbearingly powerful that there needs to be something done about this. No, there's not really a difference. The only thing that changes is if you hit Master, like let's just call this Diamond and this Master, unless you play duo queue, you can only match within this range here, which is then GM, Chell, Sof. And Diamond can match with the lower elos. But if you play duo, you are then able to play into the higher elos as well. And realistically speaking, there's not really a big difference between the players or the games in general. It's all the same. It's just mostly the amount of, ooh, nice play, baiting back the Lux to the minion wave and jumping back to the Shadow, making the Lux think that he's picking up the fruit and just goes back instantly and kills them. Coming back to the idea, it's just a matter of like how many games you want to put in. That's the biggest thing. Like how many games do you want to play to climb? For example, climbing from Emerald to Master, then from Emerald to Challenger, and then from Challenger to Sovereign. Like to Sovereign, it will take a lot of games. And you play the same games. Ooh, nice combo here, avoiding. The Talon turns around and gets a quick little kill pickup, and the Draven misses the ultimate. Jumps back here, but look at the movement he has. Just goes in for a little trade, a little love tap, and just pieces out instantly again. And the moment you hit again Mastered here, you basically play the same games or similar games that you play in Sovereign, or at least like for my part, it was always the same. Like there was no difference in game quality or anything. It was all the same, and it felt all the same, and it was really, really boring most of the times. But generally speaking, you should play, and if you enjoy the game, basically, because otherwise, like if you just grind for LP, is that really fun? Do you enjoy this? Like, or generally, like people watching this as a VOD or live or anything, do you genuinely have fun just grinding for LP? Like just seeing the +1, or is there anything else that you just feel brings you joy? For me, for example, it's the smoothness of the game. Like playing it, moving my character, having the cool things, like cool combos you can do that many people don't do. All of these things combined make it satisfying to play as a game. What makes it less satisfying is having the +1, -1, but being victim of unfair matchmaking. Or suffering from a terrible lack of players. What is this transition here? And yeah, like if you having fun equals making sick plays, then that's a valid point. Obviously there's a cutoff where you can't just only go for sick plays because you will automatically lose, and you have to keep that one in mind. And here the Z just showcases good awareness around and just going for the right target, playing it very reserved. And this Talon actually died. It didn't even look like he died. Let's put it this way. If you don't perform well, it takes you a lot of games, but I don't think it's possible to not climb if you just put in the games. But again, I might be very much biased with this assessment. Like, very much biased. Ooh, what a nice... Oh, he just avoids the combo by the Lux with the laser. Says, nope, not today. Oh, this is some of the most frustrating things. And if you can relate, you're just more than free to tell me, because if you see the amount of mobility Zed has, and the moment you're like slightly fed, how easy it feels to play, like, or at least to kill people, it's so annoying to deal. Because what do you do against this? He doesn't even have his ultimate on the maximum level, and it will only get worse from this point on. And then you can just trade his ultimate for an instant stasis on enemy and then just chill for a few seconds and do the same thing again. And if he has blue buff, it gets even worse. Kennen goes in with an ultimate here. He goes for the enemy Nami. Nami just disappears into the next game almost instantly. 2 people down. Enemy has to retreat now. He leaves the shadow for vision just in case somebody goes back there. He just wants to swap back. Just take a good look how he's doing it. Panning the camera up there just to make sure everything is going well. But there's one issue right now happening. This here, but it should be okay. The enemy is a little bit delayed, but they take Baron relatively slowly, even though it's a very early Baron. And the Talon even might be able to get here. Talon actually gets here, they have to forfeit the Baron, and the Talon kills them, kills at least 2. The ultimate is finally enough to kill him with the Collector proc as well. But now he has to escape. He got crit 2 times by the Draven. The Depression has a name, and it's crit chance on Draven. Also, quick little thing here. If an enemy has Crown of the Shattered Queen, yeah, and you're like Draven, don't use an ability, don't use your third ability or ult, just auto-attack them. With your axes and with your second ability, like the attack speed steroid. To be smooth with that, I 100% agree. This is one of the things that why it's hard to carry a game as a Z. But if we just look at things at face value, as in how to kill one person, to kill a person is very easy. And I made the same example with Akali. Like, killing people is very easy with these champions, but carrying games is much more difficult. Because usually if you play bad or just mash buttons, you kill one but you die instantly. And if you are the one that dies early in a fight, your team is obviously not in a very good spot. Because we think of you as a carry here. And many of you might not know, blue buff is very powerful on energy-based champions. Because they gain much more regeneration for the energy. Picking up the stasis now. Yone is going for the consistent, like, Yone as a champion. It's so annoying to face him if he's constantly able to go for his Q-stack shenanigans and then run after you from jungle with this shadow or his what is it called again? Spirit Unleashed, I think. Looking for an angle here, one of the most important assets of an assassin. Finding angles where you can flank from, so you should most definitely swap to Sweeper sooner than later. Because that way he'll be able to actually get the jump onto the enemy. I think it requires you, again, to kill a person, you can just mash buttons, but to survive and carry games, it's much more complex. You have to be mentally aware about your position, especially of the position of shadows, and if you're not, you just be very inefficient. And here they're just trapping for the dragon. Somebody is gonna face check for no reason. Okay, as an example, yeah, let's pause for a second. The Lux didn't see anyone. Like, she threw an E in here earlier, and then she just walked up here for here. There's no reason to do so. If you see that they're not on this, then nothing matters. Like, it doesn't matter if they're here, here, or here. If you know for a fact they're not on the dragon, then nothing of this matters. You don't need to know where they are. You just need to know where they're not. And in fact, they were not here. And then as a consequence, it doesn't matter what's in here because you already know they're not where you thought they would be, and which is the only relevant position they might be in. Now Kennen goes in for a big play, uses stasis, he doesn't have shadow to go in, Lulu ults him as well, Talon jumps in from the side, gets ulted by the Z, and he'll probably get instantly killed. Ooh, avoids certain death. Yeah, but still dies to the Collector proc. And thanks, Soul Unbound. My bad. But yeah, like, this is something that many people do, and it's just like right now in the downtime, let's just use this. Like, if you know enemies are here and this is up, you don't need to walk there. You know that they were there, so they can't magically teleport somewhere else. And again, the Nami is face checking this area for no reason. Like, she has no business doing this because there's nothing to achieve. Baron isn't available, she can get killed by anyone she face checks, so she needs somebody to walk in for her to then basically allow her to gain vision. Anything else is just too much of a risk you would take, and you would gain nothing. Yone is very unique in the way he can be played, but Yone is also one of these champions that have been changed or like put in a spot where you can just mash buttons the moment you have certain items, which is one of the biggest issues, I believe. Yeah, the E is very nice. Oh, nice. Did you see how he just dodged this combo? And now there's a fight happening mid lane, they're winning, so now this should be a free Nasher. Like, none of the kills matter anymore, but they still keep on going, and now they die magically. Zed is waiting for an opportunity to go for the Nami, but he doesn't have ultimate, so he can't really go for the backline, so he has to be very patient. Lucian walks up and gets blown up for no reason. Again, all of these things don't really matter, they just don't really make too much sense. At least he gets a free kill pickup onto the Lux. Like, again, the Lux knew where he was. Like, she had a mental note where he was, and he still walks up. How so? For the Yone mashing button part, the moment you hit 3 items on Yone, you can just smash any button you want and you'll kill people. Because the time you deal damage in is like, it's so quick, you deal damage so quick that the enemy, unless you get into a team that instantly CCs you, will die before you die. That's my perception. But that's just the skill floor of a champion. I'm just talking about the skill floor. Obviously there's a big ceiling that can be done, or can be improved towards to. And it's technically something that they're pushing over and over again, because they want to make the game as easy as possible. And what do you do to make the game easier? You give everyone 50 billion damage so they can one-shot each other, so tactics, strategy, all of these things matter less and less. Because if you just one-shot people, it's just a deathmatch situation. And often people, if they're not faced with strategy, just get so absorbed in the idea of just running around and doing things because nobody punishes them, like the Kayle shenanigans. Like, nobody punishes a Kayle player in jungle, or the team refuses to do so for whatever reason. And then yeah, you reach interesting game points where it's just button mashing, like it's just button mashing. By the Vine, I mean, the Vine in a combo is a lot of extra sustain and just being tankier. Trinity Force would obviously deal more damage, but the Vine provides a bigger lifeline, HP wise. And look how the Yone always comes from Fog of War with his Q3 stacked. Instantly goes back here, the Yone probably survives actually. Now this is in a very interesting spot because, ooh, nice combo by the cannon stunning the talent to not die instantly to him, but now the Draven is walking after him. The Zed needs to be careful, like if he sees the Draven without ultimate, he might just die. Now the enemy team might commit to a very, very bad mistake if they go for this, this Baron. Yeah, he just misclicked. He just misclicked. That is a heartbreaker. And the thing with those invades is, these invades are rarely even doing anything, because they're not capitalizing on them, like, completely. Invading in WildRift, ooh, like look at the cooldown on his ultimate, it's so low, he can just go for a play over and over and over again, and the Yone nearly dies. He goes for a flash, runs after him, has to now step away, walks into the Draven and gets one-tapped. 1093 damage with an auto attack. Goodbye. just generally about jungling. Understanding how to invade, because if you invade, you obviously want to make sure that you pay attention to the respawn timers here. And then when you know that they respawn, you want to go back there and capitalize on these advantages, because you know, as the enemy has a natural interest of farming gold, you want to be there to kill them, plus deny their gold income, so you get like a double positive. If you just go in there to deny one camp and do nothing with it at all, what's the point? Because then it barely does anything for you. You might even put yourself behind in the grand scheme of things because you can't find the reset timer, whereas the enemy is resetting, has an item advantage over you because you weren't able to spend your gold, and then the entire early pressure you just put onto the game is thrown away. And hello. The Aatrox stole the Elder Dragon. Like, they knew they cannot fight this. Like, the Zed didn't go. And the Lucian also didn't go, obviously. Ooh, did you see the damage of the Talon? Like, just the collateral damage that were inflicted. Such a crazy amount of damage. He has to walk away from the Draven. Look at this menacing guy. But Meteor is such an interesting pickup. If it's really about the accidentally clicking stasis, it would be too funny. I mean, he clicked it in the wrong way a few times. Yeah. Oh, and another thing about Zed. If you face check brushes. Oh, pops the Cron, that's very, very important. If you face check in the late game, ooh, nice jumping here, going instantly away, this probably will kill him. The Draven is forced to stasis here. Nothing will come of this, but the... Will it kill her? No, the shield is enough, but now the cannon goes in, instantly kills her. Another one is being picked up. Aatrox picks up the next one, gets a reset, and everyone is falling. Now the Talon is the only one alive, being revived by the Guardian Angel. Misses the spell here, but it doesn't matter, they instantly killed him. So now they can finish the game in top or mid lane. Again, quickly talking about what I want to talk. Let's say you're the Zed, and you have to face check this. As you walk closer to this, spam this button. If you have to face check in late game as a Z or mid game, just spam your ultimate button in Fog or War, and the moment somebody reveals himself to CC you, you will avoid the CC and instantly ult them to avoid certain death. And with this, we are instantly moving over to the second gameplay, which we have, which is Zed Jungle. Look at the guy. He is smurfing. It's kind of rough colors, but yeah, well. But it's okay. The thing, like, if the Kayn is a, like, Kayn again is also, if we talk about this, let's talk about this for a second. Starting your first ability, even though it has a higher cooldown than this, is better in jungle because your third ability got nerfed for jungle camps, and just more helpful to jungle. You have to kind of start blue buff because otherwise you have no mana or not enough energy to clear, and you'll be severely delayed. As for Mr. Kayn. Mr. Kayn is a champion that has a relatively low skill floor, but he also has a high skill ceiling. Getting a kill on Kayn is easy, because all you have to get is form, but the first difference starts with getting the form. When do you get the form? At what point? And how can you use it to your advantage? Like, for example, the creativity you can have with blue Kayn is very high, as you can check every single brush on the map, because as soon as you're in a wall and an enemy is in here, you see the orb up here. You know exactly what's going on. And you can also see over walls, so it's very difficult for a Kayn to ever get, what is it called? Trapped. Look at the nice transition he's going for in this jungle clear. And yeah, Zed is... I honestly think jungle might be his best position. Because for assassins, it's always the easiest to play them in jungle, especially if they're melee. Because you get to clear and people, especially on Europe, I don't know how it is for other servers, always choose to die for no reason. And now the enemy team should know that he's here. Nautilus should have known that he just needs to wait. And everything, like, every play usually is very, very linear. Most junglers will start this red buff up here and then, or this croc camp, and then slowly path towards here. And let's say at 145, like 130, 145, 2 minutes, depending on the jungle they're playing, why would you make a play here? Because then you might get ganked and die, and then the game is basically over. So you can keep this in mind and play around this. And if your jungle is matching this, you just have to wait. Waiting as long as possible with the ultimate ability. He doesn't want to use it. And probably is forced to use it. He really didn't want to. He thought the... Okay, he bled to death. He wanted the Darius to make sure to get the kill, so he keeps his ultimate, so he can go for another play. And now the enemy Fiddlesticks is trying to capitalize on all these plays on the other side by going for a more proactive play there. It's a grasp, Aatrox. What is this, my man? And now, like, remember, the Galio knows that the Zed was up there. And look what the Galio is doing. This was a choice by the Galio. And it's just so important, like, if you understand the law of people... Did you see the trick? He walked here and spammed this ability as he face checked. Ooh, nice smite by the Fiddlesticks surviving this. He picks up the red buff. Twisted Fate is not gonna come. But he used the trick I was just talking about, where he just ulted the brush just in case somebody is there. It's such a key play that is so underused. Talking about Kayn, like, you know, if you have Shimmering Spark and you go for, like, let's say you go for a full clear, you have Shimmering Spark and then your full clear was going to bot lane and then you're level 5 after Scuttle, and you go for like a suicide play, that suicide play, depending on how it's played and how well it goes, can net you the entirety of your blue form before even 2.5 minutes pass. And the gold you give away to the enemy bot lane will be completely irrelevant compared to the form you gain. And with the form you gain, you then take over the game because you can continuously get bot lane. Because nobody can stop you anymore. Because one of the most creative things you can do as a Kayn is constantly walk here in the wall, and wards are completely meaningless against you. Because you can always approach from this angle, and all you kind of need is your team to control what this or have a control on yourself, and then you just constantly walk in there and constantly go for plays and get them killed on cooldown. Nicely played by the Darius, setting up a potential kill here, ulting in, securing the kill, picking up the kill, getting 250 gold to the bank. The Galio ults in and nothing happens. But they need to be careful. I don't think we have seen the Fiddlesticks ult, so they can't just do the Herald for free. They have to be a little bit careful. They have to leash him out. Like, you do not want the Herald to be in there. You want the Herald to be at least out there. Because otherwise it's too much of a risk for the Fiddlesticks to just come in. Dealing good damage to the Fiddlesticks, putting him in low enough so he can't just mindlessly jump in. But he has to wait for a smite, I think. Fiddlesticks still don't ult, and yeah. Now he's ulting over. Doesn't have smite, he has to wait, he can't hit the eye, he needs to wait. Now he waits for the eye, waits for the smite, collects this. Quick little jump around the corner, trying to go for a play here. But again, his team had no business going anywhere here. And if you're part of the team, what's the purpose of doing this? going for a quick combo. Like, he's not even trying to be greedy. He's very, very patient. He goes for a combo and then leaves again. And now the Fiddlestick still doesn't have ulti. And with him not having ulti, he can't really go. And therefore he can just be instantly killed. Look at the damage he has. Like, the Fiddlesticks can't really defend himself. Goes for a quick little kill, escapes the situation, has to flash over the wall because of the Lucian coming, and this dragon will be a free pickup. But I'm so confused. Why is the Darius here and giving free stuff for the enemy team? This is also something that keeps on happening and is so annoying to deal with. If you're a top laner and you go for dragon, is it really worth it? Because you give the enemy so much gold and you throw away your own lead to gain a dragon? And then it's Mountain Soul. Like, what is Mountain Soul gonna do for you? What is the Dragon Soul that, if maybe you get them, going to do for you? This Lucian is gonna die here because he's a little bit too greedy. Gets popped. Galio goes for a flash combo, but he actually kills him. Is this an AP Galio? It is. Man's a Giga Chat. The dragon propaganda is unbelievable. Yeah, that's why Zed has a very high skill ceiling. All of these champions like Akali, Zed, Talon, they have it all very easy to get a kill, but carrying with them is so much more difficult. I really wish people would resist the dragon propaganda. He just yoinked the scuttle crab. This man is an enjoyer of seafoods. He is not to be messed with. Finds the Fiddlesticks, jumps back instantly because the Galio is channeling the taunt and they just get a free pickup. Like, he knows that he needs to be fast and goes away. Like, he's baiting the enemy CC spell by just ulting in and jumping back instantly, which is something that provides his team with such a big advantage. Because let's just imagine you take away the entirety of the enemy's arsenal of CC, allowing your team to do whatever they want to do, for you just trading an ultimate which has barely any cooldown. He's even utilizing his shadow to provide him with vision to know if the Aatrox comes in a little bit earlier. And now he just has to wait for his ultimate to go for proactive play and he just picks them all up. Jumps in, Darius gets one kill, he gets stunned, he got... Nah, look what happened. He got... Nah, look. I'll slow it down here. You see? The Pyke is now dead here, but you see this. His shadow is coming, and he put himself into the animation of ult. Look. It's like now the Pyke thing is coming. He gets stunned. Is now locked up. Gets full comboed by everything and dies because the Lucian crits. I don't think I have seen any Shen thing, and I have to stop after this. But did you see the tragedy? The death hook. The hook of death. The certain demise came for him. But if you happen to find a Chinese Shen gameplay, let me know. Going for a little hook there, goes for a full combo. They full AP Galio is dealing a lot of damage and he probably has to ult now. Gets in for the ult, jumps back, gets the kill onto the Pyke because the Pyke doesn't regen up fast enough. And he's quickly healing up a tiny bit in the jungle department. And his team is making it very difficult for him to play. Like, he's having to do everything on his own and then they still randomly die. At least now, he knows that the Fiddlesticks doesn't have ult, which will allow him to play completely different. But he has to be really, really careful about the Lucian. If he gets CC'd in any scenario, be it silence or feared, the Lucian might just instantly kill him because the Lucian is so fed. Oh, Zed without a blue buff feels so bad. Ooh, there's a yellow card and Yoya coming around the corner. Ezreal comes in, misses. And they're going to contest the next dragon. Also, items such as Edge of Night are also so underrated items. They provide you with health and a spell shield, which is in itself also health value, which you can't really put a number on because it really depends on the enemy spells. Collects the dragon, but will give his life for this. He can't even swap to teleport right now, which makes it very, very scary because the enemy might threaten Baron here as it spawns. Because the Lucian is very fed, they have tanks, and they're all going for Baron like that right now. They're all just instantly rotating up there. And it will be a 12-minute Baron, and a 12-minute Baron is super weak. But coming back to the idea which I talked about earlier, right? Like I said, the first Baron feels very weird and it's very difficult to end games. Like 12-minute Baron will at most net you an inhibitor. Like most of the time, right? And the issue is, you will not end on this 12-minute Baron push. So you'll have to wait for another Baron, but then this next Baron will already be at a time where Nexus Shield is disabled, which will then allow you to finish the game. So the incentive to take this at 12 minutes feels so bad in comparison. Because this at most nets you an inhibitor, which then makes you lose gold because the waves are pushing into the enemy team. And you can't really end because of the Nexus Shield at this point, and you have to wait for another Baron. So you have to wait so long. So theoretically, do you even want to take inhibitors with the first Baron at 12 minutes? Do you really want to? It's really a difference maker. Goes in for a quick combo, but the Fiddlesticks reacts fast enough and flashes away, but he can't escape the death mark of Zed. Also, slows in WildRift do stack. So if you have Cerulda's Grudge and a slow from your third ability, Shadow Slash, you will slow them twice, but with a factor. Like, if both would be 30% slow, then one slow would be only 0.3 times its normal potency. I think it's 0.3. Maybe 0.24, maybe 0.25, but I think it's 0.3. And yeah, at least they have the chance to gain mountain. So nice little combo onto the Pike, instantly taking care of him. 25 seconds cooldown left. Nice ultimate buy. Oh, the Fiddlesticks now ults into the backline, but he doesn't have enough damage. Gets exhausted, I believe, if I read correctly. But now the enemy team is pushing multiple waves at the same time to try and mitigate this. And your question about Aurelia, why are you not seeing more Aurelia? Aurelia is very difficult to play. Let's say you have a sequence of 5 events, and a mistake in either could get you killed. And you need to succeed in all 5 to have high impact. So what about a champion that does something similar, but requires one thing only? And if you look at higher levels of play and people being able to respect you and being able to put you down or draft certain champions into you, reliably, which is the key word, reliably achieving this here for the payoff of 1, whereas you can have the same payoff here for 1, or maybe a slightly weaker payoff for like 0.9 or something, then why should you go for the more difficult thing? Aurelia is crazy, but she requires a lot of mechanical prowess to be played properly. Because again, you can easily get a kill, but you won't carry. Going for a quick little combo here, gets an instant kill. Oh, ooh, nice flash. The Lucian survived because of, I think, stasis. But yeah, very nicely done here. Very fortunate to avoid the certain death by the death from below by Pyke. Will they get the dragon? Oh, he got the dragon, he got the soul. Look at this Giga Chat, but the issue is, yes, he got the soul, but will enough people survive to maybe just instantly rush Nasher? We see the death time, we have like 13, 14. They might push for this, but this will all I don't even think they will get this because 2 people are respawning and I can't do Nasher. But now, like, look, the Nasher is available, look at the time. If they take this and they'll push, if they get an inhibitor, there will be no Nexus shield, and then they just end the game. It's so frustrating. And like the same story goes for many champions in WildRift. It's just, if they require too much effort and are not consistent, you just don't play them in a competitive environment too many times. And any news about Vex 190? I think he is playing Honor of Kings. At least a little bit on the side. Nice kill on the Pyke, picking up the kill, 25 seconds cooldown left on the ultimate. The Fiddlesticks was spotted above, so they know where he is. If that is the real one, he instantly dies. With Fiddlesticks dead, they now get an easy Nasher pickup. Galio ults in, he just escapes certain CC with this play, but there's 2 mini waves coming in a very bad spot. Luckily, the enemy isn't in a position to do anything about this, so the worst thing that could possibly happen here is probably just some damage to the tower, but this is something you have to keep in mind. The later we go into the game, the more scary will these waves become. Because there'll be more and more cannon minions, and they barely take any damage from towers, and they just demolish towers. Face checking again, like, again, look, there was no point of face checking this already without the backup being there. Because the enemy jungle wasn't alive and you can get control or vision on this earlier, or at least over a safe space that you don't need to face check. Because if you're the tank and you go in, you want to at least create space. Oh, another nice hit on that one, nearly dies, maybe dies to Death Stance if he has it. But yeah, if you're a tank and you go in, like, you just face check these things, you want damage dealers close to you, multiple, that just trade your life. Because you don't want to just die for fun, because there was no reason to. There was no chance the enemy gets Elder. Instantly pops the Pyke, just disappears. Now the Aatrox pops the ultimate. He seems very tanky. He just doesn't really have damage items. He popped ult and only has 199 AD. That's very confusing. And now this Elder will be just freely taken. It's similar to this kind of stuff. You can think of this as me, like, you see them play, and I'm breaking down what they're doing, giving some thoughts as to why they're doing it, and trying to make it a tiny bit entertaining. And personally, have you guys encountered any of weird tank Aatroxes? Look at him, he's getting dizzy, he's just jumping back and forth. And this game takes so long because he's like the only one really playing it. And he even changed to GA because at this point he has to go in for a proactive play, and because he wants to come back again, like if he swaps back, he wants to at least have another life. But the question is, like, if you have a lot of HP already, why not just go for Starrick's Gauge? Instantly pops the Zhonya's on the enemy Fiddle, goes in for a quick little play again, and finishes the Fiddle with the power of Elder. But in so many instances, having GA doesn't really do anything for you. Because if you die, who's gonna make sure that you spawn again, like that you spawn safely, and who says that you just don't die instantly again after? Sterak's, on the other hand, provides you with insane AD values on level 15, a massive shield if you have other HP items. So I don't really necessarily see the reason for many champions to actually have Guardian Angel. I think E upgrade as fast as possible after your first ability. Because the width and just overall range is so powerful, I think. Like, also, the Pike has an ability that allows him to go stealth, and then he can use his ability to walk to brushes, and then if he's close enough, if this little circle here then shows this, like, hey, don't trace check because somebody's in there, then you can just survive. But again, it's like these little details that people just refuse to. Ooh, he missed the smite because he had the Baron damage debuff. So the Ezreal picked it up. This could have gone wrong if the stars aligned in a bad way. But there's just so much damage involved. If he touches anyone on the enemy team, that like Aatrox has a Heartsteel and like I think Titanic, if I saw this correctly, he's just a punching bag at this point. Like it takes so much longer for him to be an actual driving force in the game. Nice ultimate spotting the Fiddlesticks. Fiddlesticks has to ult away to survive. Instantly gets popped, only 150 gold, doing nothing here. And now it's just a matter of time until this game ends, because now they go in from multiple sides. His team is playing ARAM as per usual, you know, it's typical in this game. And he's just going for the side lane, so he gets like a double payoff. Because his teammate is going for the mid lane stuff, and he just goes for the side lane, because there's nothing to lose, there's only to gain. And that way this game will be ending. He's going in for a little bit of extra damage, goes in for the style points. Maybe it gets another ult onto the... Ooh, he just swaps back and instantly finishes the game. So... as per usual, check out the description below. I always link the videos to the channels. Sub to the channels, make sure to give them some love. I think he shows the build at the end and the stats again. And WildRift in general isn't only damage, it's also utility. Like, you want to have the biggest impact possible in the most reliable fashion. If you just multi-stun people, this is most likely going to be a little bit better than dealing 10% more damage on one spell. Going for all the runes, and with that we're at the end of the video. Okay, thank you all for watching, be it on the stream or in the game, or well, or in a video. We'll see each other for more streams soon. I have some work left to do, and I'm tired as hell, so excuse me for leaving a little bit early. I wish you a nice evening, morning, midday, whatever day it is, and we'll see each other very soon again. And if you find anything about Shen, and I go live next time or you're in Discord, just send it to me and I'll take a look at it.